For more on the race in Georgia, we are now joined by Congresswoman Carolyn Bourdeaux, who was sworn in Sunday as one of the newest Democratic members in Congress. Representative Bourdeaux, thanks so much for joining us. Happy New Year to you as well.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you represent parts of Northeast Metro Atlanta and some of the surrounding counties that were critical in President-elect Biden's November victory. What are you seeing on the ground there as far as interest and turnout for tomorrow's Senate runoff elections? And let's get you to look into your crystal ball here for a moment. What are the chances the Democrats are able to pull off two victories here to ultimately get control of the Senate?
Well, we are very optimistic about how things look right now. We do have to recognize this is Georgia, and we have to fight for every vote. We have to fight to make sure everyone can vote. But right now, you can look at the numbers in the democratically held congressional districts, and turnout is significantly higher than it is in a good number of the Republican-held congressional districts. So what we're seeing is a real surge in Democratic voter turnout, and we just need to keep that going through Tuesday.
But in theory, Democrats often are more likely to vote earlier than Republicans, right?
In this case, yes. In the past few elections in Georgia, the Democrats have voted earlier. That has not always been the case, but it is now. And we just need people to keep on turning out, to keep on pushing all the way through the line. But we are feeling very optimistic about where we are at this particular point going into Tuesday.
Now, you were the only Democratic congressional candidate to flip a red district blue in 2020. So what do you say to a Republican or independent in your district who may have voted for President-elect Biden and also for you, but they now plan to support one or both of the Republican senators as a check on Democrats controlling the White House, House, and Senate?
Well, one of the things I ran on was getting things done for the people of the state. And we're in the middle of a really serious crisis right now in Georgia. Our hospitals are overflowing. We are seeing, friends, neighbors, so many loved ones who are falling sick with COVID and who are filling up our hospitals. And we need people who will actually deliver results. And we know that the Republicans in the Senate have made it their trademark just to shut everything down and to not deliver for the American people. And so that was what I ran on, was getting things done for the people of my district in Georgia. And that's what John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock are running on as well.
And just like to get your reaction to the president's call this weekend pressuring Georgia's Secretary of State to, quote, recalculate the results in Georgia's presidential race. First, what did you think when you heard the president's words on that call? And also, what were your thoughts as far as how the Republican state officials handled it?
I was stunned. But of course, it is part and parcel of an effort that has been going on for months from President Trump to try to overturn and subvert the elections in Georgia. But to hear that so baldly on the phone, him asking our Secretary of State to find him some more votes was really shocking. And, all in all, I appreciate that the Secretary of State and the governor have held the line and upheld the rule of law in Georgia.
And you tweeted yesterday that, quote, I will use every power in my authority to reject Trump's attacks on our election. Do you believe that there was any criminal action by the president in this call? And if so, do you support state or federal charges against him or any action by Congress?
Well, I am waiting to hear from the attorneys who are looking into whether this was a violation of state and federal law. I have heard some early indications that absolutely it was. It's hard for me to imagine that it was not. And we will be looking for ways to hold the president accountable.
And we've seen many Republicans standing with the president on plans to contest the election certification on Wednesday. So with that being the case, how difficult do you think that it will be to work with Republicans who you believe are trying to subvert the democratic process? Do you think that this starts to fade away once Biden is sworn in, or could this cause some lasting damage in Congress?
I think there are clearly Republicans, even in Georgia, who recognize that this election was a free and fair election. And you see Raffensperger and the governor of Georgia saying, Biden won. Sorry, President Trump, Biden won. And so I do think there are Republicans who recognize that. And that's an important starting point for me, reaching out to them. I think we really have to focus on what is important for the American people. We need to get past this election. The charges that the Republicans or a certain segment of Republicans in Georgia have been raising about the elections are outrageous. But we need to move past that. We have a pandemic that we need to deal with. We have a healthcare crisis. We need to make investments in education and transportation. transportation. And I look forward to working with Republicans to solve those really pressing needs of the American people.
Representative Carolyn Bourdeaux of Georgia, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.